What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and we're about to go over some of the Madden Classic tournament that happened. You can see right now that this guy's team is sick, though. This is the new top 100 head-to-head seasons gameplay. They brought back the playoffs and all that other stuff like that with the from the rankings from rookie all the way up to all Madden, and the way that it used to be, and they actually put in-depth leaderboards, which is actually pretty cool. But I asked you guys if you wanted me to talk about some of the Madden Classic, and you guys in the previous video put in hashtag Madden Classic, which is what I asked you guys to do, if you wanted to hear about what I thought about the tournament overall. First of all, I'm going to say this. It's very good that EA Sports is taking interest in, doing a lot of the things that a lot of other commercially advertised people were doing with Madden. Making a tournament. They're controlling it themselves. They're having their own commentary. A lot of things, I think, with the way that it was actually done, it was too much talking in between games. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the whole thing with the girl asking people questions after intense games. I remember when Problem was down in one of the games early on in day one, and she's coming to interview and stuff like that. I don't think that those interviews should take part in the future while it's actually going on, probably after the game, or maybe at halftime. Halftime is probably fine, but like in between each quarter and stupidness like that, I just don't think that was necessary. So look, this is what we're going to talk about. Group A had Problem, Skimbo, Joke, and Spot Me Please. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to touch real quickly on all of them. Group B, it was that Monster Got Stick, V-Tech, Han Solo, who was, I don't know if he ate 5 people that were in the actual crowd, Han Solo, but he really needs to go and see a doctor, bro, because he looked like he was going to die right there. And I don't know who pays for the insurance on that, if he just had a heart attack right there, because I don't know what he was doing. Like, a lot of you guys talk about Problem's weight and stuff like that, and I always tell you guys, don't worry about Problem's doing his thing, stuff like that. But this guy right here, Han Solo, goddamn, bro, like, you really need to do something about that. You got to really fix that. So that was Han Solo, 216, and Duke. Group C was S. Dello, who I really started to like. He's from Philly. Shout out to all the Philly people. Silent Soldier, who came up pretty silent, getting his ass whipped on a regular. Vision is real, who was actually a true boy. Was definitely proud of him to see him make it where he made it. Little man walking around with Elmo shirts, getting his ass whipped. And D Jones, Group D, Young Kiv, Sino, and Bugs. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about certain things that I took from everything that happened. I know you guys thought it was pretty cool that, a lot of you guys thought it was cool that Young Kiv didn't shake D Jones' hands. Let me just say something about I'm going to touch on both sides of the coin with that. This is what happens, right? Young Kiv is a young man. He's part of the Problem movement, whatever else is going on with that. I don't know what's happening. Takeover, whatever they want to call it. But to me, he's always Young Kiv. I don't think he needs anyone to be a great Madden player. I think he can do it by himself. That's just my opinion. But look, let me just say this. It's not a good look to do that, even though a lot of people hate D Jones just because of what D Jones does. The guy usually rushes one guy. Sometimes he rushes nobody, and he stops to run in the pass. I understand that. He's a little bit crazy when he's playing, but I think it's part of what he is while he's playing. And a lot of people go into game mode. I think that that's his game mode. But him not shaking D Jones' hand, that's not a good look for him as far as marketability, because Young Kiv has to look at himself as a product. If you guys play Madden, let me just say this to you, all you young fellas out there. If you guys play Madden and you're good at it, there's a lot of opportunity to make money in different ways. And a lot of people will look at you based on what you can do. And that was the only issue I had. I don't have a problem with him not shaking his hand, because in the heat of the moment, that's how he felt. And I appreciate the genuineness. But I'm looking out for his future. If you're going to play Madden and be good at it, people, like these sponsors, they want to see that, you have sportsmanship. You could see that Problem Right shook his hand after D Jones beat him, because Problem Right, he has sponsors, he has a lot of different things. He's an older man. He should, he knows that he has to do that to present a certain type of visual, okay? And that's what should have been told to Young Kiv by somebody in the camp, because he has to be coached at that level. That's why you become part of something else. It's the fascination of, oh my God, it's, I'm part of the movement or whatever like that. But a lot of things come with that. You have to help coach him to be successful outside of whatever you have him doing. And that's the only thing that I would have addressed with him, if he was a part of my camp. Listen, bro, you gotta go. You want to make money from this. You want people like Pepsi, whoever the F is doing, whatever. You want them to see that you have gamesmanship. So that's one of the things I wanted to touch on. Other than that, we're going to go right to what the finals were, because this video is going to be over soon. If you guys want me to continue with it, I can continue in another video. You just got to drop hashtag Maddenclassic. I could go more in depth with some of the other things. But the Spot Me Please and D Jones game. I don't know if you guys watched it yet. It's still available on past recaps, but you know, it was a lot of craziness happening that went against D Jones. The quarterback doing the mannequin challenge. A lot of this game has a lot of flaws, and it's not to really take away from the Madden Classic, because I really enjoyed watching it. Competitive Madden is always exciting, but those key things, you know, the phantom offside calls, that happened during D Jones and Problem also, where, you know, I think one time Problem accepted it, but then D Jones had to not accept it because they knew that that's a bug in the game where the guy just randomly goes off sides. And I've actually lost games like that in actual gameplay. But overall, the finals, I think it would have been a different game if those fumbles didn't happen based on the glitches in the game. D Jones, like I said, he's a very annoying... We're about to get swerved right here, guys, in 3D. Thank you, guys. But he's going to go for 2, and that's a wrap for him. But like I said, I can go more in depth with it if you want to, but the bottom line, it was a good game, but I think it would have turned out differently if those fumbles didn't happen to D Jones based on certain glitches that are in the game. Let me know what you're thinking about it. You can leave your comments as well. I'm going to see you guys next time. This guy was a top 100 guy. Definitely a tough player. Had a very stacked team. But the stacked team don't matter. It's always scheme over team. One love.